Good morning. Hey, welcome world. We are back at it on a Monday morning we're talking about life. Let's talk about life, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that could be. We're going to get it today. So today we're having a conversation about the zone. Ooh. I don't know where you guys are at. I'm curious where you guys at in the world. Seriously, like let me know. I'm always interested in who's tuning in. So give me a second to know where you're at in the world. Outside of that, we're gonna get rocking and rolling with this because as you guys put little comments and things in, obviously I'll be able to look at it as you guys go. But today I want to talk about the zone. Now it's interesting if you study the zone, you know what this is. If you're an athlete, you know exactly what this is. The zone is that spot where like everything seems to just be rocking. You know what I mean? Luke Achipo, I think it says. I can't pronounce your name. My apologies. Good morning to you. Hello from Scotland, Edinburgh, Scotland. I love it. Revive Miss Kelly 142. Hey, Virginia Beach. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Keep the hype from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Oh, we got some Canadians and their maple syrup and saying sorry. And I love you guys because you're awesome. Good morning from Phoenix, Arizona, Bonnie D Lake. So here, let's get into this. The zone's a great place. Now, what the great place I'm talking about is that flow where like you're impenetrable. You know what I mean? Like no one can talk to you. No one can break your bubble. You got the confidence. And not only that, but you are operating at a high tick. Like that zone, you know what I'm talking about? It's like when all of a sudden everything just seems like dissipate and you're just in this weird level of a plane of just operation. Like athletes get here and everybody can get here, but like athletes get here when it's game time. We're like in the zone. All of a sudden, every point is getting made, like every basket's dropping, the touchdowns get scored. I'm running, my vision's great. I can almost feel the energy of the entire thing. Like it's just a different level of zone, right? And then I realized a lot of people don't get in the zone, man. They don't get in the zone often enough. Like, and when you get in the zone, you know what it feels like. Outside of sports, that zone is different, right? The zone could be like, man, my workouts are banging. My business is banging. My career is on point. I'm coming to work. I'm getting things done. My relationship is on par. Like you go to bed and you lay in bed. You're like, man, I feel good, right? And you wake up in the morning like, I'm ready to rock and roll today. Like there's just something about that zone that gives you something special, if you know what I'm talking about. And when you can get to that zone, and I see, I'm gonna get to this moment, when I see you can get in that zone and live in that zone, it's a different beast. Think about the greatest athletes in the world, the greatest performers in the world you know. Think about the Michael Jordans, the Gretzkys, the Serena Williams, who else we got out there? Football players, your Tom Brady's. Like these people, they don't just get in the zone every once in a while. Think about it. They don't just get in the zone. Even like your Elon Musk, your Oprahs, your anybody. Like I'm sure Tony Robbins in our space, right? These guys and these ladies, it's not a matter of just getting in the zone one time. They live in the zone, like live in it. There's a spot where because of how they do things, they're consistently just in that groove of living in the zone. And I think if you can get to that point of living in the zone, it's different. Now somebody says, Nana says, what keeps you in the zone? Nana, because? Great question. I believe, good morning, Titus Lee, Amber Wright, and Margot Williams. I think what keeps us in the zone, and I know what keeps us in the zone, is having a very specific operation for every day. I think what happens is sometimes we live on the zone's energy and we hope the zone's energy never dissipates, but it doesn't work that way. So you don't get to the point of having this emotion of the zone because all of a sudden you just wake up one day and go, oh, I'm in the zone today. Okay, right? Because what happens is it goes away. How do we talk about living in the zone, right? Because if you can live in the zone, it changes your life. That's what I just told the people over here. Because that's the truth. I believe that there's a spot where if we can get to a groove of doing that, and not only does we just kind of get there, but we stay there and live there, it becomes who we are to be in the zone every day, to live there. I think that's how lives change. I know it's how lives change. See, it's not because you have a bad day and then all of a sudden like, oh man, I don't want to do anything and it falls away and you just tuck back. It's like, no, even if I had a bad day, like I'll get back in the zone quick because I know how to get there. So the way that I believe you get in the zone is one, you have to architect, structure, craft what it looks like for your life to take the actions to get in the zone. Think about Jordan. What did he do? What did Kobe Bryant do? What did Gretzky do? What did Serena Williams do? Man, they every day were out there getting that work. Part of the zone is confidence, impenetrable confidence. And where does that come from? From knowing I did the work in the dark, showing up and doing the things every day, no matter what, to where I'm in that spot. And I have this mentality of, you don't even know what I've been doing, but don't you dare test me because I've been doing the work. I earned the right to be great today. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain kind of thing. It's not an accident. It's all out there in plain view, but we aren't getting up. We ain't going and shooting in the gym. Look at Kobe. Kobe Bryant was always shooting in the gym. Michael was shooting in the gym. Serena was putting them tennis balls in the back of the net and the wall. It's consistent energy and work being put forth. There's not a level of, I feel like it today, so I do it, and I don't feel like it today, so I don't do it. No, they do it even when they don't feel like it. And all of a sudden, things become this magical, look at them, they're great. Nah, it's not just that they were great. They built that. They did the work to earn that. They got in the zone. They live in the zone because they know how to live every day. And so today, as we get started on this Monday, man, I want you to think about that. If you're seeking confidence to where you can get up every day and go, I feel like a monster. I'm amazing at this. If you're seeking that sense of power to go forth and do something to where it doesn't even matter if it doesn't go right because you know you're amazing, right? If you get to that level, that is what creates momentum. Because here's the big piece I believe about being able to live in the zone. It's, do you have momentum? Like, I got great momentum. You ain't slowing me down. We get things rocking and rolling. I missed out on Friday because I flew over to Florida, the live stream. I flew to Florida to officiate a buddy's wedding. So unfortunately, my schedule was weird. I was like all hours weird of the day. Momentum is monstrous. And it's not, because what happens, think about it. You get going, all of a sudden you stop. And how do you feel when you had momentum and lose it? You feel bad. I didn't do it. Oh, geez, man, I'll get it started again. And it's hard. It's a lot of work, right? But when you can get to the point of actually getting into that flow and taking the actions to create momentum, you get to live in the zone. You get to be in that place where it's all just rocking and rolling all the time. Does life happen and knocks you off track? Yes, it can. Because that's what life has. Life is what happens between your plans. It can happen. But if you got a system to be able to get into the flow and be in the zone and live in it, I'm telling you, all of a sudden, man, things rock and roll. Get to the bag, Jerome Sadler says. Good morning, my man, Christopher Morgan, get Mo. I love it. And that's the big piece. You get confidence. Yes, Christopher Vogelman, confidence, you get cadence. And if you are in a space right now, you're like, man, I'm not in the zone. I haven't got to the zone yet. It's one thing to live in the zone, a whole other thing to get to the zone, right? You got to first get in the zone to live in the zone. Let's be honest. Vogelman's on two. Look at this. Vogelman's getting it on both. I see you. And you have to. Oh, I love it, man. Not because I appreciate it. But this zone is like, you got to get to the point of getting in the zone first. You get into the zone by first taking a look at your life and saying, man, am I in the zone of my relationship? Like, I love my wife. Oh, she's so dope. Like, we had an amazing relationship. We are in the zone right now. We're living in it. My business runs smooth. It's operational. I'm in the zone. I'm getting it. We got speaking gigs coming up. We have coaching clients coming. We have a great flow, and I love the lives I get to impact, right? And then my parenting. I'm great with the parenting. I love my kids. That right now, my son just got in trouble because he's supposed to work on a project, and his phone was out in the game. He got in a little trouble there. And then my health. Man, I had shoulder surgery like not even a month ago. Look at that bad boy. Right. So I rock and roll, and people go, Ed, how do you get so much done? I was traveling to Florida, red eyes, 2 back-to-back red eyes. How do you get it done? You know what? I'm in the zone. I know how to get into it and live in it. And I'm not special. There's nothing unique about me outside of just the time I've spent in the zone living in it, which is why I pressed upon you. What you got to do is structure what your life looks like, right? Structure what it is going to be that you're going to go after a big thing. Before you do that, probably get an anchored vision. Know what in the world you really want. Like, if you know what you want, if I'm talking, you know what you want, it's clear. So you know when you cross the finish line, you get yourself the best opportunity to actually set up a great plan and move forwards. And if you feel like, I'm okay, I'm good. If you think you're in the zone, but you ain't pumping, like you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Check yourself. Are you really pressing? Ask yourself, are you really pressing to the next level of what you can accomplish? Because some people also say like, yeah, I'm in the zone. I'm doing well. But then if you look at them, like, are you at a level of stretch? Is it testing you every day? Is it testing? Is it pressing? Is it difficult? Is it challenging you? Because that's where the zone shows up. Because all these little things become difficult, it makes you expand a little bit more, get a little bit bigger, get a little bit broader, right? And you can do so much more. And so first off, get a big vision. Second thing, get a plan. And 3, you got to execute that plan like crazy. Like crazy. I'm telling you that the biggest issues with a lot of people's success is they might have a vision. And I mean a vision so clear that you know the moment you cross the finish line, it could be a certain amount of money in the bank, a certain amount of clients close, a certain promotion you want to get, a certain weight loss on a scale, a trip you want to take with your family. Those are moments where I'm like, this is the vision. Like, this is the blow. Like, that's where I got, right? If you got that kind of vision, great. If you don't, go seek it. 2, if you do have it, do you have a plan every day? Do you wake up every day and you have a piece of paper that's telling you what you got to get done that day? Seriously, ask people this question, like, show me your planner and I'll show you what's important to you. Because if you're telling me you're in the zone, you would have all these things dialed in. I got the next 30 days of my life right now. I can show you at any given time. I rock that way. You have to, because now my life is telling me, Ed, about a month ago, you said you were going to do this. Get it done today. Let's go, life. Let's do it. I'm in the zone. Let's get to go. Like, I'm living this thing, right? I flow. Do I always want to do it? No, but I got the plan and process. And guess what happens? I accomplish it. Guess what happens? Confidence. I feel good about myself, right? You got to have that plan in place. If you can't get up and take action towards things, you're falling short of all the potential you got because you're hoping tomorrow gets done and tomorrow gets done and tomorrow gets done. And tomorrow isn't a day. It's just tomorrow. Today is a day and you got to get it done today. And so our reference is just a simple concept of you got to get to the point of not just getting in the zone, but you got to live in the zone. Man, I got a lot of comments. You guys like this, apparently. So I've been living in the zone since October. I fiercely protect what I give my energy to. I love it, Nancy. Every day, and I'm impeccable with my self-care, and my steps are rooted in brain and body and health. I've done it for 164 days while numb and physically, emotionally exhausted. Nancy, I see you getting it. Lutanya says, yes, getting it. What about those who are not used to your new momentum and zone? Andrea, sometimes people aren't used to your flow. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? That's a great question, Andrea. Sometimes people see you move and they go, what are you doing? That people don't like a mirror. You think people like a mirror look at themselves. No, they don't like the mirror of what they're not doing. Let's be honest. Sometimes the mirror, when I said what I've been doing just now, I was breaking down my life. I guarantee someone's going, oh, I'm not doing that, right? That happens for a lot of us. And it's okay. I don't say these things to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm just being honest. So when you start taking it at a higher level, you get in that zone where you're living at a high operational tick. Yeah, there's going to be people in your life to look at you and go, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And it's nothing to do with you. They have to do one of two things. One, they have to take you and minimize you and say you're crazy. Or two, they have to see that they're not doing great and level up. And most people don't want to be forced to level up. So they have to take you down a little bit. It's unfortunate, right? So when people around you see you get in that zone and living in that zone and they aren't cool with it, guess what? They don't belong around your zone, man. Create a new bubble. Seriously, get other people in the flow. And if you're sitting here saying, man, the zone thing sounds great, I'm telling you, it is great. When you can get to the point of getting at that tick, it's just years and years of momentum, but you fall in love with it. Think about that. That's what the zone is. When you are in that space and you're loving it and things are ticking, it's a different flow. It's still work, but you're loving it. Like imagine I used to play sports and I would be tired out there. My muscles would hurt. My body was hurt, but I loved it. Right? There's things you can be in that are difficult that you still love. My man Mel knows this. No drones in the zone. I like that, Mel. Well said. That's the thing is when you get to that tick and that push, all of a sudden things dissipate and the work is fun and the success comes faster and more frequently. You get to the things you want quicker and you get more things you want. It's that simple. It's a matter of living in the zone. So I'm going to share with you at the end of the day, you've got to get to the level of getting in the zone and then living in the zone. If you're struggling with this, send me a message. Just send me a DM zone. The work we do in Identity Shift, we shift you into that space of your life. That's it. That's what I do all day, every day. You get you there. Like I live this all day. Therefore, it's easy for me to teach it. Whether it's a business zone, a health zone, a relationship zone, it should be all of them. But by the way, it should be all of them combined. You can have it all, by the way. I don't know if you knew this. You can have an amazing body. You can have an amazing relationship and an amazing career or business. You can have all of them and you should. You have the capability, so why not do it? It's just what you're doing in those little nooks and crannies of your day and how you're planning, how your whole life is organized to get you in the zone and live in the zone. If you're falling short of that, just send me a message that says zone. That's it. Just DM zone wherever you want to DM me, and I'll gladly get you the information. I'm excited about this because man, I love what I do. And I don't know why all of a sudden it feels like every week's a brand new week. To me, I love to get up and get rocking with you guys. And every week, genuinely, I'm not kidding, it's like a brand new week. I get to have cool conversation with the clients we have in our programs. I see one guy just popped on, Mr. Jeremy Nix. I get to have an amazing time with my kids. My son, he just ran this last week a 110 hurdle, and he actually is now 7th in the state of California for the 110s as a junior. Oh, man. And that warms my heart. My daughter, she beat a couple kids that were pretty fast kids in her thing, and they're older than her. She beat them in a stroke that she struggled with, but finally got real good at. So she's killing it. And then my son, Torian, there today had like 3 or 4 jump in the air catches in flag football. Like, I have a good, amazing joy in my heart for my kids. My wife has got a business that she's expanding, which is awesome to watch. I'm getting these cool bookings. Like, God is good, and I believe it's because we as a family, just so you know, what's up, Mr. Nix? We as a family, we know how to get and live in the zone. That's the only difference. I am not this like special. I don't have extra body parts and an extra brain. I got the same thing you got, but I do have a process I use called the shift method that gets people into the zone. It's time to set up. We spend some time setting this thing up and get it structured. But once we hit the ground for what we call the shift in 3 process, man, it rocks and rolls. It's a tool we actually had custom created out of the nowhere, out of scratch, based on what my clients' needs were. I'm like, let's create a tool that puts people into this amazing spot and just get this whole zone moving. Like, that's what I wanted to create for people, and we got it. And that's what we rock and roll and do. So if you're curious about that, send me the message that just says zone, and our team will talk to you and share all the details of it. But that's it. That's what we do. We help people make shift happen by getting you to live in the zone. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your Monday and the rest of your week ahead. Anything you need, you know where to find me. But by always, man, just by always. What does by always mean? As always, have an amazing, blessed day.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.